Hello and welcome to today's episode of Dream Business, Dream Life. Today I want to talk to you about events, and I promise this genuinely isn't a sales episode. It's not about me trying to persuade you to come to my event. It's just a brain dump about my experience of events over the last few years, both as someone who hosts them and somebody who attends them too. I think that right now, events feel like a lot. They are everywhere. There's so many. You could literally be at something every single day of the week if you wanted to. And whilst I absolutely love that people are seeing the value of being in the room, it's feeling a bit noisy, a bit overwhelming. And I'm hearing that from other people too. Which events do you go to? Will you offend somebody if you don't go to their event? How do you justify the cost of going to an event? Because it's not just the cost of the ticket, it's any other costs that are associated too, the travel, the overnight expense maybe. How do you sell tickets when there's three or four other people hosting events in the same week as you? And as an event host, how do you make it profitable? How do you make sure that you stand out? How do you make sure that people actually buy the tickets and attend? So much energy going on around events at the moment. And this year, one of my biggest goals in terms of visibility is to be in more rooms, but not just any room. I'm not interested in being able to say, hey, I was there. I'm interested in being in rooms that actually moves the needle for me and my business. And that has taken me a while to get really clear on. Now, I've been into the big, busy rooms before, and I've walked away feeling completely overwhelmed, not because they weren't good events, not because the speakers weren't brilliant, but because I hadn't really stopped to ask myself why I was going in the first place. I'd say yes because everyone was going, because I didn't want to miss out, because I thought I should be there. And that energy feels quite different to walking into a room knowing exactly why you're there and knowing exactly what you're going to get from the day. Now, you can attend an event as a sponsor, a speaker, an exhibitor, or simply as an attendee. And every single one of these roles has a value, has a purpose, but only if you're really clear what that value, what that purpose is for you. And that may be something completely different for every single event that you attend. For me, right now, before I book anything, I will always ask myself one really simple question. Does this event move me closer to my goal? Now, you will have heard me ask a similar question to that about everything I do in business because I do. Whatever I am doing, I have to know that it's moving me closer to my goal. And events are no different. And I ask myself that question, then I sit with the answer. Now, if the answer is no, then I don't go. And it's okay to say no. It's okay not to go to every event. If the answer is maybe, then I need to explore it more because I need a yes or a no. If the answer is yes, then I'm going to make whatever changes I need to make to my schedule to make it happen. Because ROI doesn't just mean signing a client in that room. It could be a collaboration, it could be a conversation that opens a door 6 months down the line. It could be deepening relationships with people you've only ever spoken to online. It could be simply getting clarity on your next step. But you have to know what you are looking to get from the event. Hope isn't strategy. Just turning up and thinking, let's see what happens, is very different to going in with something intentional that you want to get from it. Now, I'm never that person running around grabbing loads of selfies just so I can post them on stories and show that I was there. And listen, I'm not knocking that at all. Visibility is important, and I actually wish I remembered to take more photos. But a story lasts 24 hours. A real relationship lasts a lot longer than that. So, did you just grab the selfie and move on? Or did you actually have a proper conversation with that person? Did you intentionally choose who you wanted to connect with? Or did you just veer towards your comfort zone and spend the whole day chatting to the people you already know? And again, I love catching up with my friends at events, but I could do that anywhere. That is not the only reason why I'm in that room. If there are specific people I want to speak to, I just can't just sit there and hope that our paths cross. Maybe I could send a message beforehand. I'll arrange to grab 5 minutes with them. I'll be intentional about it because you can go to an event with 1,000 people and still only probably speak to 10. You can go to an event with 10 people and speak to them all. Size doesn't automatically equal impact. And this is important if you're overwhelmed. If you love big rooms, go to the big rooms. If they energize you and you thrive in that environment, brilliant. But if they drain you, if you come home exhausted and wondering what you actually got from it, then it's okay to choose smaller, more intimate spaces instead. You do not need to be everywhere. You cannot be everywhere. You've got a business to run as well. Your clients aren't sat there offended because you didn't attend their event. Your friends and mentors aren't keeping a score. And equally, if you host events, you cannot sulk if people don't come to yours. We are all making, or at least we need to be making, strategic decisions based on where we need to be right now and what we need to get from the events right now. And that brings me on to hosting events, because I speak to so many business owners who are hosting events and feeling the pressure. Pressure to sell out, pressure to have the right speakers, pressure to compete with what's happening in the same week. And here's something I've really noticed over the last few years. People aren't just coming for a specific speaker. They're coming for the whole experience, the vibe, the conversations, the inclusivity, the feeling they get when they look back at the day. I've had some incredible speakers at my event, genuinely some of the best in the online space, and hand on heart, across 6 events, I have never once seen a spike in ticket sales when speakers were announced. Never. People aren't just coming for the speakers. People aren't buying information anymore. There is information everywhere. They're buying connection, belonging, transformation. They are buying the value of being in that room, the overall experience of being on that room. Which means as hosts, we have to listen. People don't want to just be spoken at for 8 hours. They want tangible takeaways. They want space to talk and just connect with other people. They want to feel seen. They want to know their time and money has been respected. And that's why my event is evolving this year. Yes, we will still have speakers, but there will be workshops and much more time to just connect, because that's what my audience are telling me they want. And whether you're hosting or attending, there is one thing I always do, and I'm going to recommend you do too. I set 2 intentions before I walk into any room. 1, I will speak to at least one person I have never spoken to before. And 2, I will leave with one action that I will actually implement. Not written in a notebook and forgotten about, actually implement. That's how I measure ROI. It's simple, 2 very simple actions. Because at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to extract value from that room. It's not the speaker's responsibility to give you. It's not the host's responsibility to give you. It's yours. It's your responsibility to extract what you want from that room. You can sit at the back and say, that wasn't worth it. Or you can decide before you even walk into the room how you're going to make it worth it. I love events. I love hosting them. I love attending them. But both roles come with responsibility and intention. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the noise, take a breath. You don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be in the right rooms for you at the right time for the right reasons. So the big question is, where will I see you this year? The growth event maybe? Thank you for listening. I will see you next time.